Hi there, I'm Stefan, and in this odd bonsai video I'll be splitting up these 3 ponytail palm babies to pot them into individual pots and also discuss about caring for the species. So join me next as I go through the process. The ponytail palm is also known as the Nolina palm based on its previous scientific classification. However, current scientific classifications place it under the Beaucarnea recurvata species. The so-called ponytail palm is not a real palm, even though the name suggests the resemblance of mature specimens to real palm trees. It is actually closer related to desert-growing species such as those in the agave and yucca families. So it should definitely not be treated as a palm. They form a bulb-like structure at the base which is called the codex. They are not real bulbs, although they may show some similarities, especially in younger plants. The codex is used for water storage and can grow quite large as the tree gets older. Like most ponytail palms of this size, it is common to get several plants bundled up in a single pot, to offer more foliage than a single plant baby can provide and create the illusion of a more luscious plant. The great part is that it's easy to split up these ponytail palms into individual plants, which you can grow for yourself or share with a plant-loving friend. I will now extract the ponytail palm plants from the nursery pot. I'm just pressing on the sides of the pot and wiggling the plants gently until the whole root ball comes out. The roots look really good. There are a lot of nice and healthy roots and the plant isn't root bound. Before trying to separate the ponytail plants, I will remove most of the soil to make the division easier. For this, I'm just using a regular bamboo chopstick that you can easily get a hold of. It's easier when you do this just after buying the plant, which hasn't spent too much time in the pot since it hasn't got that many roots and the soil is not yet too compacted. Even if you don't want to split up your ponytail palms, I would still recommend repotting the plant in well-draining soil such as that used for cacti and succulents or even bonsai soil. The soil which my plants came in from the nursery seems to be a combination of perlite, coconut coir and some organic matter, all of which offer good water retention. However, drainage tends to get worse in time once the organic components break down. Now that I've got most of the soil off, I'll try to separate the ponytail palm plants apart. They are not fused together, it's only the roots that holds them together. It's preferable not to break too many roots in the process, so just try to pull them apart gently. If some roots do break, don't worry, the plants will recover just fine. I'm also wiggling them a bit to help with the root separation, and as you can see, they are slowly coming apart. Just a little pull here and there we are. The hard part is over. Yeah, that's it. We now have 3 separate ponytail palms waiting to be repotted. I'm going to use 3 different pot sizes to plant the ponytail palms in. The reason for this is that I want to test what is the best approach for growing the codex and the whole plant faster. Some say that using a larger pot and offering them more space to develop in is best for fast growth, while others say that the pot should only be slightly larger than the codex to deprive the roots of growth space, and this should lead to the codex growing in size. So I will plant each of the ponytail palms in a different pot to test these theories, and I will report the results in a future video. First, I'm adding screens over the drainage holes to prevent the smaller soil particles from running out. The soil mix that I'm using is a well-draining one, containing perlite, vermiculite, pumice and regular potting soil, 1/4 each. I start by adding some soil in each pot as a base layer before positioning the plants. I will not do any root trimming as I don't want to impede the current development of the plants, so I'll place the first ponytail palm in the pot and fill in the rest of the soil. Since the soil is pretty dry, I can use my fingers to make sure the roots get covered by the soil, at least to some degree. Tapping on the pot can also help, but if you want to make sure that all the air pockets are gone, you can use the bamboo chopstick for this purpose. Just make sure you don't damage any roots in the process. I'm making the final adjustment of the plant position by pulling it up a bit while adding the rest of the soil. And as a final step, I'm making sure that the codex sits nice and snug in the new soil. That concludes the potting of the first ponytail palm. I only have to repeat the same operation 2 more times on the 2 remaining ponytail palm plants. Now that the potting is all finished, I'll give all the plants a good watering. I intend to grow one of these ponytail palms as a bonsai once they mature. For now, my plan is to let these ponytail palms grow freely and develop larger codexes. So if you have any tips for growing large codexes in ponytail palms, I would love to hear them, so please leave a comment in the section down below. Basic care for ponytail palms is pretty straightforward. They love light, so put them in a place where they can get lots of light. You can also put them outside in the summer as they can take full sun. And most importantly, don't overwater them. If there's one thing that can surely kill a ponytail palm, that's overwatering. So it's best to let the soil dry out between waterings. They will use the water stored in the codex to withstand the lack of water in soil. If you found this video useful, please let me know by leaving a comment in the section down below or by clicking the thumbs up button. This was all for this video, thank you for watching and see you in the next Out Bonsai video.